Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy Absolute, and today we are going to do a power ranking list of the CDL teams after the CDL kickoff this weekend that just passed. Alright, let's get into it. So the first team we got Boston Breach, and right now I am going to put them in the B tier. Alright. So they got TJ, Cap, Methods, and Nero. First off, Capsule is a fucking monster, alright? He pretty much went off. He had like an 8 or 9 kill streak over this weekend. And it was pretty crazy, but one thing is that Nero needs to step it up if they want to be a contender for, the top of the dogs, you know what I'm saying? Anyway, on to the next team, we're going to go Mutineers, and right now I'm going to put them in a C. Alright, so pretty much they have a pretty solid, nasty squad, but their team is just a little awkward, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's going to be a lot of what happened last year, and they're going to win some crazy wins and then lose some matches that they should have won but just didn't because they're just an inconsistent team at times. And right now we're going to go LAG. They did not perform this weekend at all. I mean, they only had one series, but it was on LAN. They're a bunch of veterans. They didn't perform, they didn't show up. They really just kind of came on stage and went home. You know what I'm saying? LA Thieves, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, we're going to put them in A, but they're on A, like of the cusp of S, alright? But there's one thing, right? LA Thieves could have beat Toronto and then been in the finals. That's the crazy thing, because they literally lost a hard point where they were 2 points away, and they just blew it. They literally blew it. Honestly, their whole gameplay is kind of sloppy. But if they clean it up, they could have definitely won this game. Next, we're going to go the London Royal Ravens, and we are going to put them. We're going to put them above the LA Gorillas. I put them there because a lot of the pros have been giving them gas, but really they went up against Seattle Surge, which is pretty much one of the best teams in the game right now. So they couldn't really, show a whole lot of what they can do. I'm not really expecting a whole lot out of them. They didn't really put up much of a fight against them as well. So that's why they're kind of down there. They kind of went home pretty early, but excited to see what they can do this year. Minnesota Rocker. We have Standy, Attached, Major Maniac, and Priesta. And honestly, I'm going to put them in C behind Mutineers. They played too fast to the point where everything that they were doing didn't matter, or they were just getting, caught while sprinting. Alright, so next we have the New York Subliners. I'm going to put them all the way up in A behind the LA Thieves. They looked pretty good, but like they said, they didn't have a whole lot of practice before this because Hydro was out in France. But they did look pretty solid, and if they clean up a few things, I think they can be a pretty a top team. Last year they were pretty close. They took down FaZe a few times. Next one, we're going to go to FaZe. And FaZe, I'm still going to put in S tier because it's FaZe. They're eventually going to get to the top. I know they went up against Seattle, which is pretty much the #1 team right now. But, I have a feeling that they can still beat all these other teams. Other than, Seattle, they're probably going to have a lot of struggles with this year, Alright, next we're going to put Paris down at the bottom all the way at the end. Honestly, Paris just looks fucking weird. It just looks like a weird team to me. I don't know, the gameplay kind of speaks for itself. Next we got Seattle Surge. Seattle Surge we're going to put all the way up in S, above Atlanta FaZe. Pretty much they're just a bunch of young guns gunning everybody. They're a pretty solid squad. They got SIB, Pred, they got Accuracy, and Mac, and they're all fucking disgusting, honestly. Next, we got Optic, and I'm going to put them in B behind Boston. Their logos kind of look similar now that I'm looking at them right next to each other. But B, because they really didn't put up much of a fight until the end of the matches. They can do better, you know, once they iron out a lot of their problems. I believe they could, you know, be up in the S tier. But right now, with their recent performance, I say that they're somewhere around this area, maybe be above Breach, but it just kind of depends on the day and how hot they're starting. You know what I'm saying? And last but not least, we're gonna put Ultra all the way up top in the first because they won the tournament. So, you know, obviously they're going to be the best team. And then Surge, and then I feel like Atlanta FaZe would still beat everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much my power rankings from what I've watched and witnessed. But LA Thieves is definitely a top team. Their team is a little sloppy on the hard points, but eventually they'll get up there. Eventually they'll iron it out and get up there. Dallas would also, you know, I'd say get up there eventually. But other than that, I feel like this is a pretty good list. Leave a comment down below what you think. And you guys have a great day. Peace.